What's up, guys? Wild Runs here, and today we're going to be talking about why Wysocki is killing it. All right, so first off, I wanted to look at the previous tournaments just to show why the trend is that he is just absolutely destroying the competition. And I almost don't want him to destroy because I feel like it's the same reason why I don't like Macbeth as much. He's just been killing it for so long that I really just want the trend to end so I can get a Calvin or a Kevin to just come in, or Casey. Casey would have been awesome to come in and get that win. But I think it is important to look at how we got to this position. So I will say I'm not an expert at his form or anything. I'm just an observer. So I'm really looking at more of the trends versus how he's actually throwing. Because obviously he's doing amazing, and I don't really know how he does it. He's just has a ton of power. Okay, so if we look at Waco, you might be thinking, yeah, I know Wysocki kind of sucked, so why is that important to now? So I think the reason why this is such a pivotal point in his tournament year is that he did not do great his last round. And I think that's important because if you look at how he did in his last round, I think it shows exactly what we see in the past two tournaments. Everything that he's doing is proving that he can just destroy every course, and primarily courses in Texas. Okay, so we look here, 1047, 1050, and then 1012. Now that rating on the surface doesn't sound that good. I mean, you see Nico obviously doing better than that. But the important thing to note here is that he was consistent until he went for shots that were just desperation shots that he probably shouldn't have done. But overall, he was amazing. And if he didn't go triple OB on some holes or whatever, then he would have been right there in second and third, potentially even first place. So if we look at his actual last round, it's just a string. I mean, okay, so he got double, then a single bogey. But beyond that, he got birdie, 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 eagle, birdie, birdie, birdie. And then he went for some crazy stuff because he saw that he was still behind a couple strokes. So we got a double and then a double and then ended off with a single bogey. So the only reason why he did so bad in his last round was because he was going for shots that he had very little chance of actually making. And especially with the windy conditions of Waco, it just was not set up for him to do well. But yet when he was in the woods without that high wind, he crushed it. His circle one putting maybe wasn't the best, 78%, but overall he did amazing. You don't see anybody else getting these string of birdies. That was just him and the eagle. He just had so much power and confidence until the ending where he just kind of had to go all out. And I just see that as indications that he will continue this trend as long as he has his confident putting stroke. So now we look at Belton, and I think it shows the exact same trajectory. So the rating on this one was just ridiculous. So 1073, 1070, then 1096. And I think the 1096 actually isn't even that impressive, just because he was neck and neck with Macbeth, and he only snaked by a couple strokes. He had some amazing putts, but I think the bigger thing was just showing to Paul that he is better right now, and he is more confident, has a better stroke. When he was putting on 16 or 17, he immediately put right after Paul missed his putt, and they had the same lie. And I think that was just such a confident little jab almost at Macbeth, being hey, I'm here and I'm making this putt, and he drained it. So I think the persona of that round was almost more impressive than the shots that he was making, even though his putting was amazing. So now we see a similar trend round three when he did 1096. There's no bogeys. There's these couple pars that I think were just really windy holes, and he missed circle two putt, whatever. And then missed circle one putt, but it was super windy, and yet he was able to string all of this together. Obviously Paul did nearly identical, but he was not nearly as consistent as Ricky was. And I think this goes back to, even though I hate when players talk about their routines and their like habits and what they've been eating and all their nutrition stuff. I think a lot of that is just BS to try to like promote their marketing. But with Ricky, like with the Lyme disease, it's so indicative of actual real life gains. Like everything that he's doing seems to be working out. And he talked in an interview, I think it was last round of the Texas State Championship. He said he's been really nailing in his putting stroke by practicing putting for 2 to 3 hours a day. And I can guarantee you nobody besides maybe Paul is doing that. I bet Paul's not doing that. So practicing your putt for 2 to 3 hours every day is bound to do wonders for your game. And he's already a pretty excellent putter. And I want to say that Calvin or Kevin or Hamas are better putters, but based upon the shots that I've seen in the past 3 weeks, there's just no contest. Ricky is absolutely crushing it. And so maybe Lyme disease is triggering all this stuff, but I think it's just hard work. Like it's hard to dog on somebody that's working that hard. And I think his chances of winning at least 2 more tournaments this year are pretty high. And I would not say that about Paul. I would not say that about Calvin. I wouldn't say that about anybody else. I think Ricky's the only one that has the potential to be winning 3 tournaments this year. And I think something that he learned in Waco was just to not get tilted on those bad shots. Now, he was trying to make up a huge stroke deficit when he was going double OB, but I think he definitely got a little tilted and was not playing his best. And so when he did that, he just was not playing consistently. But with the past 2 weeks, every time he's messed up, he's made an amazing upshot or an amazing putt or amazing run at a putt. Like even if he's not making everything, he's still giving it a great run. And so that's just like the sign of excellence. Like when Casey was going for like 150 long foot putts, you just can tell the confidence is not nearly the same as Ricky was. Now, I love Casey and I really want him to win, but it's just not comparable. And so I think the culmination of him being side by side with Macbeth, his practicing putts, his nutrition, obviously it's in Texas, which he's historically done really well at. All of these conditions just combined with him just absolutely destroying the field. Now, I think there is a potential reality in which he chokes the last 9 holes at the state championship, but overall, I just think he demolished. So yeah, just looking at the rounds here, 1 bogey, amazing, went 11 under. Oh wait, sorry, that was round 3. Yeah, round 3, he crushed it in the back 9, which I think he could have easily faltered in, but he almost played in a way that he wasn't even nervous in the back 9. And I think when players do that, like Eagle did at Vegas, you just play confident and relaxed in your back 9 with a lead. I think that's where players just really shine. And Ricky was no exception. Round 2, he had no bogeys. Started out with 7 down through 7, or 6 down through 7. Just insane stuff. And I think like when I saw that Kevin Jones was making a run for it, I thought maybe he could do it, but number 2 just really destroyed him. And so I see Ricky just being consistent on these really tough holes. It just kind of shows that he is dialed in a way that nobody else is. And then round 1, 7 down wasn't necessarily his best, and definitely wasn't the best for the entire division. But just all these factors led to him just absolutely destroying the field. And I think by the end of the year, he's probably going to have the MVP. He's probably going to be recognized as the best player right now. And I want some diversity in the wins. I want somebody else to start winning. But as of right now, I just do not see anybody else destroying the field in the way that Ricky's doing right now. So if you guys have any more comments, any things you'd like to add, I'd love to hear it. So with that, Wild Runs, signing out. Peace.